Stir fry and steam. Dip marinated and stewed. The compatibility between stewed soy sauce and Chinese food is almost 100%. If the Chinese have lost a spoonful of soy sauce for 3 meals in 4 seasons, I don't know how much it tastes. How many colors are dimmed? Overview of global soy sauce. Not the exclusive memory of Chinese diet. Korean food in Japanese. Soy sauce can be seen on the tables in the world such as Southeast Asian cuisine. Although the flavors of soy sauce in different countries are very different. But we trace the origin. You will find out. Their ancestral homes are actually in China. So, why was soy sauce born in China? How did Chinese soy sauce go to the world? This is a soybean. After soaking, steaming, vaccination, fermentation, aged, filter, a series of brewing processes, such as boiling and other brewing processes, it will become a small drop of fresh soy sauce in the sauce jar, even after the transformation of the modern food industry. But in the collective memory of us Chinese, the raw materials for soy sauce are soybeans. But if history is turned back for more than 3,000 years, we will find that soy sauce was originally made of meat. Soy sauce is naturally inseparable from the parent sauce. According to historical records, the emperor's diet is divided into meals, drinking and meal. 6 categories of shizen sauce. Among them, the sauce is mainly made of marinated and fermented by animal meat paste. The animal meat mud at that time, including but not limited to fish, rabbit, swallow meat. Some gravy will appear in the sea after the fish eggs are soaked, similar to fish sauce. And this is the predecessor of soy sauce. But meat sauce was a rare food at that time. Its derivative byproduct, meat soy sauce, is even more jingdue. Of course, ordinary people can't afford it. Until the birth of plant-based soy sauce and soy sauce in the Han Dynasty. It broke the class barriers of soy sauce consumption. Beans were originally collectively called vegetables in ancient times. Initially eaten as a staple food. At the end of the grain. With the improvement of the status of wheat staple food in the Han Dynasty. In addition, beans are not easy to digest and have poor taste. Beans gradually bid farewell to the Chinese staple food circle. Turn your head and shine in the side food circle. Evolved tofu. Chinese delicacies such as bean paste. Recorded in 4 minutes by Cui Shi of the Eastern Han Dynasty. Some people in the Han Dynasty steamed beans and made bean paste to get green sauce. That is, the early records of soy sauce. Scholars speculate. First, soy sauce is simply a blue liquid from the soy sauce. Centuries later, its production process has made a new technical summary of Chinese soy sauce. Add fermentation koji and brine from solid fermented bean paste for liquid fermentation. Arrived in the Tang Dynasty. Soy sauce brewing is approaching maturity. There are 2 types of brewing methods, sauce shop and family. The brewing of the sauce shop requires the addition of 2 types of fermented chorizo and the shinsu brewing time for up to half a year. It's typical high salt. Liquid fermentation. Homemade soy sauce omits the steps of making music. Fermentation by brewing wine. Add flour. Promote fermentation. And the familiar word soy sauce. It first appeared in the Song Dynasty. Willow wine recorded in Lin Hong's dietary notes in the Southern Song Dynasty, Shanjia Qinggong. Mountain and sea soup. Yamaya sansai. Forget worry chicken. All 4 dishes were mixed with soy sauce. When our ancestors sing soy sauce, I also don't forget to bring this delicious condiment to the entire East Asian diet circle. Chinese soy sauce spreads through culture. Entered North Korea and Japan one after another. There is a mural in this Goguryeo nobility tomb built in the 4th century AD. Korean scholars believe that it is cooking soy sauce for soy sauce. Even if this inference is not necessarily true. However, it is recorded in the 12th century Korean history book The Records of the 3 Kingdoms. King Shinwon was treated as food for the royal family for 3 years. As for how Japan eats soy sauce, some people think the production process of Japanese soy sauce was passed down by North Korea. Certainly. Before this technology was introduced to North Korea from China. Japanese generally believe that soy sauce was the Kamakura era. A monk named Jueshin, bringing miso to Japan from Shizuyamaji, China. The Japanese discovered the liquid accumulated at the bottom of the bucket where miso is stored is very delicious. And this is basically the prototype of Japanese soy sauce. It is worth noting that, At this time, the East Asian diet circle is both China, North and Japan. Soy sauce. Basically, it's just made by big people. It exists as an accessory for the bean paste made by wealthy families. Small families in the countryside can even eat bean paste. So, when did soy sauce become a household commodity circulating in the market? The earliest answer was scholar Huang Xingzong. In Fermentation and Food Science, he counted 17 agricultural books by counting them. Recipes and other historical documents pointed out. Soy sauce became the most commonly used seasoning in Chinese society in the early Qing dynasty. Liang Qizi, professor of history at the University of Hong Kong, uses electronic ancient book library to search. Discover. There are only 67 documents before the Qing dynasty. Literature about soy sauce. There were 178 items in the Qing dynasty alone. If you change the keyword to sauce garden house, Article 233 documents appeared in the Qing dynasty and the Republic of China alone. From this, it can also be inferred that the real peak of Chinese soy sauce production should be after Qing. The reason why soy sauce was able to complete large-scale commercial production in the Qing dynasty. Thanks to the prosperous soybean trade. Among the ingredients of soy sauce, about 40% are soybeans. In my country, especially in the southern region, local soybean production is small. Soybeans are in short supply for a long time. Qianlong period. Yang Tingzheng, the governor of Fujian and Zhejiang, once submitted a memorial to point out. Zhejiang soybean supply is in short supply. And the quality of soybeans in Zhejiang is poor. It is difficult to obtain Fengtian soybeans. Fengtian soybeans here generally refer to soybeans from Shenyang and even the northeast. Since the beginning of the Qing dynasty, Hanmin cultivation has been opened. Soybeans and wheat in Liaodong. It is the most important agricultural product in the area. Especially soybeans account for 80% of the national output. Both of these agricultural products happen to be soy sauce raw materials. 1772. With the complete lifting of the ban on shipping trade in northeast China. Remove the remaining part. Nearly 10 million dan of wheat and soybeans are transported to Jiangnan every year in the northeast. Some of them were transported to the farther Fujian through Jiangnan. Guangdong. In addition, after the mid-19th century, northeast soybeans have surpassed silk, tea, become the largest export product. Also sold to Japan, North Korea and other East Asia regions. The soy sauce industry in China, Japan and North Korea has ushered in an unprecedented commercial prosperity due to the abundant northeast soybeans. The key export sites for soybeans in northeast China mentioned above have begun to grow wildly in Jiangnan and Lingnan regions using soy sauce shops that brew soy sauce and make sauces, becoming the best in their cities. Two traditional Chinese soy sauce schools were born in Jiangnan soy sauce and Cantonese soy sauce. As for the earlier Cantonese soy sauce in the dynasty, there were records of Nanjing soy sauce recipes in the month order. After cooking the beans, stir evenly the yellow beans and flour, place them in a sauce jar, and ferment them in a high-salt dilute state for brine. It is shining with the sunset, and it crystallizes when it meets cold at night. This craft that absorbs the essence of heaven, earth, sun and moon is called sun and night dew. The soybeans also slowly ferment in this process and condense into soy sauce. Jiangnan soy sauce does not add fermentation koji, but uses a large amount of flour to promote decomposition, which makes Jiangnan soy sauce relatively high in sugar, sweeter in taste, and a longer brewing time, commonly known as Sanfu soy sauce, because the entire brewing process requires 3 days of summer, that is, 3 full years. In contrast, the Cantonese soy sauce flour, which is both high-salt diluted fermentation and requires sun and night dew technology, is relatively low in the content of soy sauce, and focuses on studying the koji of soy sauce. The soy sauce fermented from this is saltier in taste and has a flavor. It has distinctive layers and rich sauce and soy sauce aroma. Especially for Chinese food, many dishes that require hot stir-fry are relatively high-quality choices. Soy sauce in different regions of China has formed a unique flavor system and cultural heritage due to differences in geographical environment, raw material selection and craft tradition. From the fresh sweetness in the south to the mellowness in the north, from traditional time-honored brands to modern industrial production, every drop of soy sauce is the ultimate pursuit of the original taste of the ingredients. However, when it comes to popularity, Cantonese soy sauce is better than that. At the same time, Cantonese soy sauce inherits the more primitive Chinese soy sauce ancient method. In the mid-19th century, the people in South China migrated to Southeast Asia on a large scale due to war and chaos. This history of survival immigration is the famous voyage to Southeast Asia. According to rough estimates, between 1860 and 1949, the number of people traveling to Hong Kong, Macau and Southeast Asia through the Guangdong-Shantou port was about 1.4 million. These overseas Chinese took a red-headed boat to their destinations: Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, and the Philippines. From raw materials to indigenous people, they jointly wrote the modern history of Southeast Asia and brought Chinese soy sauce culture to foreign lands. In fact, before Chinese soybean soy sauce entered Southeast Asia, a common local condiment in Southeast Asia was fish sauce, a kind of meat soy sauce fermented with fish and shrimp, which was also very common on the dining tables in South China. When soybean and wheat arrived in Southeast Asia with the global ocean voyage trade, Southeast Asians absorbed the brewing technology of Chinese soybean soy sauce based on fish sauce and created 4 new styles: light soy sauce, black soy sauce, sweet soy sauce and caramel soy sauce. Soy sauce. Among the ingredients of these soy sauces, seafood is added, which is stamped with the mark of Southeast Asia. At the same time, modern Japanese soy sauce has also received the technical dividends of the Meiji Restoration, and disciplines such as microbiology and chemistry stimulate the modernization of the soy sauce industry. From raw material storage to transportation, all related equipment for soy sauce manufacturing has begun a modern transformation. The brewing time of soy sauce has been shortened from more than 1 year to 6 months, or even 3 months. During the later World War II, Japan was hindered from the expansion of power in Central and North Asia, and broke with Britain and the United States. Coupled with the subsequent full-scale War of Resistance against Japan and the Pacific War, Japan's overseas food supply chain was transported, blocked and bombarded. Cut off. The land area of the main island of Japan is small and the supply of materials is insufficient. In order to reduce manufacturing costs and improve the utilization rate of raw materials, the raw materials of Japanese soy sauce have been transformed from soybeans to defat soybeans after soybean oil is squeezed. Nowadays, except for a small number of traditional Japanese brewed soy sauces, large Japanese soy sauce manufacturers basically use skim soy sauces. This defatted soy sauce has extremely low fat content, less than 1%, and a protein content of 45%. It can produce rich amino acids more quickly and increase the umami flavor of the soy sauce, but the disadvantage is that the sauce flavor is slightly lower. In addition, Japan is an island country, facing the sea, affected by the ocean and warm currents, with a lot of precipitation and insufficient sun-drinking conditions. Therefore, it did not use the traditional Chinese sun-drinking process to make soy sauce, but used wooden barrels to seal it. Brewing method. By contrast, Japanese soy sauce has higher alcohol content. Japan's defat soy sauce production technology has obvious advantages in large-scale commercial production due to its high production efficiency and low production costs. It has thus been passed on to the soy sauce cultural circle and has become one of the paradigms of modern soy sauce. At present, many soy sauce brands at home and abroad are using skim soy sauce to make soy sauce. However, in the traditional soy sauce brewing system, soybeans, as the main raw material, have a deep historical foundation. At the same time, according to Professor Li Xinqing of Southeast University, soybeans are safer and healthier than defatted soybeans, and the soy sauce they make taste more mellow. Soy sauce starts from China and gradually expands through the dissemination of technology and personnel migration, forming a soy sauce food cultural circle including East Asia and Southeast Asia around the world. After hundreds of years of precipitation, we have integrated into diversified local cuisine in the New World. Soy sauce is indispensable for Japanese people to eat sushi, Korean soup, and cured meat. Soy sauce is also the protagonist in Southeast Asian sauces. At the same time, as Chinese food, Japanese food, Southeast Asia and other Asian diets are popular around the world, soy sauce has become an indispensable seasoning and is recognized and loved by more European, American, and African consumers. Take China as an example. As of 2023, there were nearly 700,000 Chinese restaurants of all sizes overseas. Where there were Chinese people, there were Chinese food. Where there were Chinese restaurants, the soul of Chinese food seasoning was bound to be indispensable: soy sauce. Therefore, China's overseas export volume of soy sauce should not be underestimated, and it can be regarded as the world's largest soy sauce exporter. 2022. China exports 233,000 tons of soy sauce. Many Chinese soy sauce brands set sail, breaking out your own world in overseas markets. Taking the Chinese brand Haitian as an example. In 1955, it integrated 25 local ancient sauce salt factories in Foshan. Afterwards, Haitian products have been sold to Singapore, Malaysia, Mauritius, France, Italy, New Guinea, Kenya. In 1993, Haitian brand series products entered the US market for the first time. Now, Haitian has been exported to more than 90 countries and regions around the world. Recently, it submitted an application for listing on the Hong Kong stock market to the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. This is not only an important step in Haitian's globalization strategy. It also pressed the acceleration button for Chinese soy sauce culture to move to the world. Haitian originated from Foshan ancient soy sauce during the Wanli period of the Ming Dynasty. It is the first batch of Chinese time-honored brands recognized by the Ministry of Commerce. It always adheres to the traditional soy sauce brewing process and actively promote Chinese soy sauce culture. From Maolong soy sauce during the Wanli period to reorganization into a joint stock company in 1994. Today's Haitian flavor industry. In fact, it is a time-honored brand with a history of more than 400 years. If you are interested in the history of China's soy sauce development, recommend a comprehensive documentary What is Soy Sauce with soy sauce as the main character. What is Soy Sauce comprehensively sorts out the history of Chinese soy sauce for more than 3,000 years. Detailed explanation of the ancient Chinese method of soy sauce from the selection of beans. Chilled beans cooling, steaming, cooking, drying, fermentation. Complete set of processes such as filtration of oil. AI tells the fermentation technology and microorganisms of soy sauce. Video from north to south. Records the application scenarios of soy sauce in food in 8 cities in China. Both history. Food science. 3 dimensions of humanities. What is comprehensive science popularization? Soy sauce is more than just food. What is soy sauce takes soy sauce as the perspective. Describes the Chinese people's understanding and recognition of Chinese food culture. With the acceleration of globalization of China's soy sauce trade, soy sauce culture uses Chinese food as a medium. Go deep into every corner of the world. Show the world a bottle of seemingly inconspicuous soy sauce. It also contains more than 3,000 years of cultural precipitation in China. At the same time, from a soybean to a drop of soy sauce, brewing process that has been tempered by years. Behind it, it also condenses the ingenuity of Chinese craftsmen to innovate and uphold integrity.